Ladies and gentlemen, there is something special when I say that when you sit down with the business community, the reason essentially being that what we essentially witness is the final product. What really goes behind it is something that we often never really look into. The endeavor that I'm going to make, Mr. Vijay Karia, is today to simplify this to the youngsters here of what goes in building our nation. And Mr. Vijay Karia, as the chairman and also the managing director of Ravin Group, thank you very much, Mr. Vijay Karia, for joining us. Let me straight away begin by asking you, and I always ask this to those who have been able to carry forward a group during the most turbulent times in our country. Today, we look at a rising India, but we forget what we have gone through, the journey. Let's begin with the journey of the Ravin Group itself.
Thank you so much, Ravin, and it's a great pleasure and an honor. The company is, in 2 days' time, going to be completing its 73rd year and entering the 74th year of existence. So times have been turbulent. You know, India was an era of shortages at that time, and everything was controlled. Copper, aluminium, whatever products you wanted to buy was rationed out. You might not be aware, but some of the people who are here would be aware that even to get a motor car or a scooter, you had to wait 20 years in line. You're not able to get a telephone. You're not able to get anything that you wanted was doled out in terms of rations. And we are a country that always faced electrical shortages. People who have gone through, even in Delhi, even some of the metropolitan cities, Calcutta for one, was always plagued with electrical cuts. So we've gone through those times. Times have been tough at certain times, but what we've always endeavored to do is keep ahead of the curve. So what we are trying to do today is stay ahead, maybe a couple of years ahead of what products are being used today, and move on to products which are going to be used a couple of years later. So challenges have been there, but I think now this is the time for India to rise and India to come up to those challenges, because we are no longer talking about shortages, we are no longer talking about obsolete technology, but we are talking about moving ahead.
What is the most enduring thing about your company when it went abroad, something that you would remember the most? Because I do understand all of us at some point in time may have had to go through several challenges and the way we were looked upon. The fact that you brought in the company at an early stage, diversified and brought in various sections altogether, what's the most enduring memory of you taking Ravin to another height altogether?
Well, within our own selves, even within our company, because we prided ourselves on being professionally managed also, though promoter driven. But we had an independent board, we had a lot of independent directors, and it was a big challenge first to overcome internally that we wanted to go out. I would also say that it was a little bit of a surprise when, and I won't name the person, but when a very, very senior person from one of the earlier governments, and I was speaking to him in one of the talk shows like this, and during the break when I asked him what would be your mantra for growth, so he knew my company and he knew my profession. So he says, Mr. Karia, I would suggest that you go outside the country, like ye desh mein kuch nahi rakha hai, so I would suggest that go outside the country and look for growth. We, though it was a negative statement, but we took it positively that, okay, let's go and prove outside the world also that India can do something. And we did manage to do that. In fact, today, I would say with some amount of pride that we are perhaps the only company we are based in UAE, in Fujairah. And we are the only company where perhaps both the government and ruler are partners. We are an officially notified government company.
I guess on that very note, ladies and gentlemen, I think the group certainly deserves a big applause, because we are talking about being able to achieve what at some point in time, Delhi Metro certainly faced a tough time. The fact that you had to bring in everything from outside. We are talking about a complete Swadeshi product that is being developed. But was there a point at some stage where you felt the difficulty in implementing it? Because at the end of the day, we are basically doing almost like a reverse engineering here in Mumbai, unlike what we have perhaps seen in Delhi or even for that matter in Kolkata.
So, yes, there have been challenges, I won't deny that. But then again, it's your power of conviction, and it's about getting people together. So basically, it's not just about having a finished product, as you earlier said, but it's about getting all the raw materials made in India for the finished product. It is now make in India and make in India for the world. So again, very, at the risk of sounding a little bit immodest, I would say that, one of the most beautiful centers in Mumbai, that is what we call now the Geo Drive, the Geo World, and now what is known as the NMACC. They worked very closely with us, and we developed some products over a long period of time, which are absolutely, fire survival, fire safe. That means it withstands fire for 120 minutes at a 900 degrees centigrade fire. The circuit is then switched off, and then it is hammered and it is sprayed with water, etc., to replicate actual fire conditions. And the electricity has to be on again. This was never done in India before. And we did a lot of research. We developed indigenous materials. We urged suppliers to, make raw materials which were perhaps not just conforming to international specifications, but even at certain times far exceeded those specifications. And we've come to this stage just now, so I can say, and I keep saying this time and again, that it's also credit to the government, the Maharashtra government, MMRDA, MMRCL, and the Indian government to encourage this local industry and to encourage Make in India. Yes, when Make in India was there, a lot of people were skeptical about it, including ourselves. But I think today, when the government has persisted, they've shut off imports from certain countries, they're making it difficult to import, they've brought in quality control orders, they've brought in BI certification marks for these products. They have shown that we are here with the industry. We want to encourage the local industry. So if you want to sell your products in India, you better make them in India. And that's why we are seeing a lot of Apple iPhones are being made here, and so many other products are now being made in India.
Well, I'm hoping that many of you would be taking this message home, because I believe it's an understated issue, not widely spoken. I think so almost every one of us have a role to play in this, along with businessmen too, the fact that the media too. Let me also, Mr. Vijay Karia, put the focus on the other sector that your company has pioneered to a certain extent, and the fact that you've taken it forward. That's as far as renewable energy is concerned. As far as renewable energy is concerned, we have spoken about it. It is time to perhaps hone it further. How do you really see this really changing in the times to come?
So again, I would say that it is the conviction of the government, and like now we are talking about 500 gigawatts of solar energy by the year 2030. And the Honorable Prime Minister has got signed kind of promissory notes from the people that they will put up these many gigawatts of capacity. So I think renewable energy today makes us, robust in more than one way. First of all, we do not then have to rely on any other external energy source for the electricity. And I must say that the word energy is changing to the word electricity if you look at it closely. The second thing, that we find apart from being, independent, the second thing that we find is that the climate change, which is furthering the environment and looking at, the kind of conditions that we are living in, we are not leaving anything further for our generations, and, maybe we are leaving a bad universe behind for them to survive in. And maybe that's why we are looking even beyond our earth to go and get ourselves inhabited somewhere else. And the third thing is that after both these things, we are a very vast country with small pockets of population at various places. Physically not possible to, go and supply them electricity in those local areas. So therefore, renewable energy, whether it is by solar, by wind, or now even by nuclear, would play a very big role in getting electricity delivered to every household in the country without an exorbitant cost. That is what we say decentralized distribution.
A specific question as far as Maharashtra is concerned, and you've largely spoken about areas which are yet to be tapped. You essentially believe that as far as power sector is concerned, there is much more to do, with keeping in mind that one of the biggest hurdles that several industries today actually face in Maharashtra is the cost of power. Do you believe that over a period of time that that's an area that your company and the other companies could actually play a very important role, perhaps bringing in the change which could be a relief to several industries, upcoming industries in the state of Maharashtra?
Yes, so I believe you're right, absolutely, that, we have very, very high tariffs in terms of power, electricity costs, and that is something that harms the electricity, though, a lot of people may claim that we are a power surplus state, etc. I don't believe a word of what they say. We are not. Maharashtra is not. We constantly face power cuts, especially in the not even rural areas. One of my factories in Pune, we face a constant, many a times during summer we lose, we face power cuts extending to 6 and 7 hours a day, 15 to 20 power cuts in one day. Suddenly electricity goes off. Ours is a continuous, electricity is used for our production continuously. So these kind of things are something which, getting, so I would say, availability, affordability, and accessibility is something which would definitely help more industries come into play in terms of manufacturing in Maharashtra. I would like Maharashtra to regain its top position. We are a state where we've got everything. We've got the technology, we've got the workforce, we've got the labor, we've got the ideas, we've got the land, we've got the intention. Now it only needs to happen into execution. And I think as an industry, I would like to put forth one more point before the government, and maybe as a whole, not just the Maharashtra government, that we as an industry, and we keep seeing in the media that, we keep on saying that, boss, there is employment problem. That means there is a lot of unemployment. I am saying, get me people. In fact, when we go out to hire people, we don't get them. So I think there is a misnomer or a misalignment in this employability or number of people available for employment. I'm saying let the government, the industry, and the media work together to eradicate this problem, because after all, the youth of this country have got a lot of aspirations and a lot of, sun rays ahead to look forward to. So let's just progress in the way that we can.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Vijay Karia, for laying out what I would say is the vision of the company, but at the same time, importantly, what you as change makers can also do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.